welcome back to AR Blogs. I am on the road to the lake, but I just wanted to sort of talk over some new videos I'm going to be hopefully bringing to you. I plan to do a monthly little diary piece that's going to be going up on this channel, and yeah, starting off in 2023. So I'm en route. Just want to reflect on the end of last year. Haven't released a video since the Alps, and what a trip that was. If you haven't seen that video, go check it out. You will not be disappointed. Lots of massive fish caught by, especially Hugh. I think he had 250s. Me and Oz managed to get a few ourselves, so that was great experience, and I recommend it to anyone wanting that goal or sees himself trying it. Go and do it. You will not be disappointed. In the meantime, I think it's about, November time, managed to get down Sandhurst a couple of times on 2 socials. Hugh did really well on the Carp Particle social. Caught, I think it was 5 30s in the end. And I managed just the one little tiddler managed to get in pipes, which was nice. And then got back down there towards the end of November with the Jungle lads. Jungle Warfare. Yeah, don't know what they do. Clothing, go check them out as well. But yeah, great session from the whole group, really. Unfortunately, I didn't get one, but I had a great little social on bailiffs with the gaffer, Marcus, and old Greener. But yeah, the boys caught the armadillo come out, so shout out to Dave. Just ridiculous fish that. And Rich, he managed a 46-pound common, just a giant. And to catch on day tickets, quality weekend down there. So fair play to those 2 lads. And some of the other lads had caught some corkers. December was spent down a little club lake. Actually managed a couple. Cool lake, it's busy. A few big catfish in there, which I did end up hooking. Had a 61-pounder on a hinge. Me and Oz, I was playing it, I was like, Oz mate, I think this is a cat. Sort of, I had that one in France and it felt very, very similar, and then see it come up and I was like flipping out, and it was big one. And I managed a few carp as well. Managed to get down on a overnighter and had 2 little commons, well not little, 20-pounders, good fish. So that was good. And then yes, that was December, getting down there, just mainly socials with Oscar. Weather's been pretty dire. I mean, we had some sessions down to I think -6. Don't know what we were doing down there, but we had a laugh, and that's all that matters. And then started the new year down a little park lake with Shane and Hugh. Yeah, did alright on that, to be fair. Simple tactics, and I ended up with 4, I think. Lovely 20-pound common. I mean, just the colours on it. Something about winter carp, or catching carp in the winter, they just look amazing. And it's just proper like golden common, and had a mint little linear. So that was good fun. And we've since been out, it's 3rd week now in January. Been out, I'm trying to get out most weekends. I've spent the last 2 weekends down another pit on the club ticket, and it's been hard work. Surprisingly busy, a couple of lads are catching, me and Oscar are blanking, but we keep on going, and that's where you join me today, en route to another club ticket. Haven't fished this one yet, but I have walked it, and it's a cool lake, nice and mature. It's got a good healthy stock in there, I believe, so hopefully we can get amongst some of them. But yeah, I'll be a bit more in session this one. The last 2 have been just doing snippets. I mean, we've already seen the weather on the last session. It was just savage. You couldn't. I mean, we just spent most of the time in the bivvy trying to hold it up because the wind was brutal and the flipping rain was just non-stop. What is going on? It is blowing a hoolie out there. I've just snapped the flipping spom rod. Tips just come flying off and cracked off at the same time. Yeah. Me and Oscar just moved around to I think they call it graveyard. We actually saw one just out in front, and Kitty and Caravan had one, say no longer an hour and a half ago. So potentially some fish down here. But yeah, I've somewhat pegged everything down, triple pegged, So the door is up, and there could be a bit of a bruiser tonight. I did last night, unfortunately nothing. Lake was so busy when I turned up, so Jesus Christ. So yeah, I just went into somewhere I'd fished before, found a nice little spot to be fair, but nothing happened. So yeah, if anything happens in this session, then I will obviously show you. But for the time being, I'm going to get the brew on and just keep on with Rolly. Make sure it doesn't blow away. I'll leave you with what's going on out there. It is savage. Lovely. Anyway. Yeah. So en route, just got to pop into Ring with Tackle, get some last bits, and then I'll be back down the lake. Oh, and I also got some new rods, so we'll see what they're for. But yeah, we'll catch you down the lake. Well, good morning. It is very, very, very wet out here. We've had rain this morning since probably 2 AM. It just woke me up just before that. But yeah, nothing to report on the fish front. Did hear a couple sort of in the open out of bounds bit, just behind the rope. We can't fish too close to the rope, we just back up a bit. But yeah, apart from that, nothing else to really report. Apart from it was just soaking. We went to the other lake on the club ticket, and it was so busy down there. Had a quick walk around. Didn't really like sort of zones which were free, and then as I was leaving, 2 more lads turned up to go fishing down there. So it would have been very, very busy down there, all pinned in, probably into a little corner. Spoke to Oz, and that little corner which looked okay, back of the wind, was, he said, about 2 foot, so that's not even worth it. Not that this time of year they're not going to be in that sort of zone. So we're back down Club Lake, which Oz and I sort of have blanked on the last 2 weekends, but it is what it is. Managed to get a fairly decent swim, which sort of commands the end part of the top end of the lakes, if that makes sense. But it is fishing up to that rope, and that rope behind there, like I said, is the out of bounds, and they love it up there. Normally see them showing in there, and we did see an absolute kicker in there last night. I think it jumped out 2 or 3 times. We both shouted out, "Do you hear that?" So yeah, apart from that, it's all I can update on really. Just a nice little coffee this morning, warm me up, bit of energy, wake me up. Yeah, just sit tight. Bites last weekend, I mean, the lads in Caravan, they did pretty well. They were having bites pretty much all throughout the day. They had one at sort of 2 PM, which winter time you do tend to get some day bites, but it, like everyone knows, it's those little feeding pockets, and yeah, you've got to be on it. I just put out a spread of oily last night. I mean, one lad, I think a couple of pegs down from here last weekend, he had a good little hit, a few 30s, and I mean, we were watching him bombing out, so he's putting bait out, they're feeding, and yeah, by them showing they're using energy. We've actually got a lot of cormorants working the water. We've actually gone right this second, but they've been working the water all in front of me all morning. So that could show that there's little fish down there, they're chasing them, and if there is carp down there, they're going to be on their toes of carp. If you saw a big old bird chasing after you, you'd be pretty scared. But yeah, I'll sip on the old coffee, got some bacon this morning to get that on, and see what the day brings. So like I said earlier, nothing happened last night for me and Oz, but I'm going to make a little change and get some bait out there. Fished over a spreader boilie last night, and there's a couple showing long, but again in that out of bounds and we can't access that. So yeah, going to put a little bit of spreader bait out there. I've already crumbed up some original, and that's in the matching bait soak. So I'm going to do a little bit more, and this is crab original and a new little test bait for Richworth. So can't say too much about that, but yeah, it's different and it smells amazing, and I'm sure there's going to be plenty of carp caught on that once it's released to you guys. So I'm just going to quickly crumb some up. So that is the finished article. Lovely, lots of crumb. Once that's casted in, it's all going to sort of flutter down and work those water columns, which will hopefully bring the carp in for a little feed up. And to that, I'm going to add a bit of the old yellow corn. Bit of visual, easy for him to digest this time of year. I'm just going to go 1 can for that for time being. Give that a little stir. And then a bit of the old bait soak original, nice and fruity. There's quite a few catfish in here. I know I put a little bit of fish meal in there, and it was obviously winter, so they're probably not going to be feeding, but I did have a cat, like I said. What was that, December time? And that was on a little hinge with some maggot on top, which is pretty weird, but yeah, £60 UK cat. And then lastly, hemp oil. We all know how good this is all year really, but it comes into its own in the winter. You know when they're out there feeding, because it is a lovely big old slick out there. So a nice douse in all that, obviously from Carpy Particles. I'm going to go on to that. This year going to be on the stalls at the carp shows, so if you're going to be at the Northern show, come see us. Likewise at Farnborough and Stoneleigh. So myself and Hugh going to be on the stall. A little behind the scenes, my first time going to a carp show, so really looking forward to that. And yeah, meeting lots of people, hopefully meet some of the viewers, which should be good. And that is the final article. Lovely and visual, stinks, plenty of hemp oil in there, and then just going to chuck 3 little hinges over that, and we'll see how that goes. Bosh! Welcome back. As you can probably tell in the last session, I think the last clip you saw me is probably spomming out, and yeah, that session unfortunately ended in a blank. Got the bait out, sat down, had some dinner and whatnot, and then I think it was just about 11 o'clock, had a couple of little bleeps, and I thought it was going to be a weighty fair. Those sensitive delcums sort of got me out, and yeah, nothing happened. So that was a blank. And then since that, it's been flipping freezing. So I'm sure many of you have had all your lakes frozen, and it's been the same down south. So Hugh and I went down to the local little river stretch, and obviously not frozen, but it was extremely flooded. We'd not seen it before like that, and a lot of the people who we've sort of met down there, they've said you won't ever really see it over the path, and it was well over the path and over a massive field. It's just ridiculous. So yeah, we spent about 3 hours walking up and down the stretch, or trying. There was a little bit shut off, just trying to spot them because it was nice and gin clear, which is weird because it was really flooded, but we couldn't see a single thing, which is, but yeah, so. But yeah, this weekend managed to get back out. The lake we're on actually with George this session, which is nice. Just do some product stuff for Richworth, a little bit of filming. Yeah, it's half frozen at the moment, so that's fun and games. You can't actually like sort of get around, try and find them, which obviously it's this time of year you need to be on them. But yeah, put the rods out last night. Nice little bit of chops, some micro snail, just make it look natural, and then some maggots. Managed to bream straight away, which wasn't ideal, but fish to fish. And then about probably just about before midnight actually, bloody freezing it was again. Left hander on, off it went, and cool little common. So nothing, I didn't get it out, it was freezing cold. I actually put the rod back up against the bush because it's just too cold to get it back out. Redone the rods this morning at 7 o'clock and coming up to about 9 o'clock, and yeah, just about to do some product stuff. But yeah, cool little lake, again on the ticket that I'm on, and it's also on the ticket that George is on, so that's nice that we've been able to fish together. Haven't done it for a while, and we'll see if we can get a couple more today. Hopefully I can do tonight on another lake, and if I do and have any success I will bring you along, and I'll probably just show you the lake so you got an idea of the sort of lakes I'm fishing. So these are going to be till sort of like springtime, then I'm going to move on to another lake, and yeah, you'll be coming along for those adventures. So I will stop mumbling on and crack on with these product shots. With the content all captured, it was off to find a lake to spend the night at. Yes! What a result! So I'll fill you in of what's happened since the product shots with Georgie down on, it's actually a lake called Avon Tyrrell. Lovely little campsite, and it's a lovely lake. I say unfortunately half of it was frozen, but never mind. I did manage one, like I said, only a little tiddler, but no, it was good. And then yeah, after that drove around a couple of the lakes on the ticket that I'm on. Couldn't get on, it's just everywhere's stacked up. I think because it's the first sort of weekend since the sort of freeze, and all the lakes have basically had a lid on it, so everyone else has got out and it's been dry, so everyone else is fishing. Fair play. So I thought I'd come down where I'll be spending my spring campaign, and yeah, got the rods. Well, had a walk around first, obviously didn't see anything. It's about 25 acres this lake, and in the winter it's yeah, it's pretty bleak. You don't know, it could be anywhere. There's deep sections, shallow sections. Went on the back of the wind, nothing up there. Come down on the wind, and well, that's where I come into the second part of the story. Went to get the gear out the car, and there was this old boy who I've been speaking to over the summer, and he walks his dog. I was like, seen much out there? He fished it sort of back a few years back. He's like, nah, but the two pike lads, they reckon they saw one. I was like, oh, okay, what sort of zone? And he's like, oh, down in the middle bit. It's like, perfect, that's good enough for me. So I actually went and spoke to those pike lads and confirmed they had actually seen one. And going off, they're pike lads, I think they're ex-carpies, which is fine. So they know what a carp is and sort of showing them whatnot. And I was really surprised to hear that one had showed. So going off that, I had to get in that zone, and just literally 3 singles out last night. White one, a pink one, and then of course the old tootie. Literally fanned them out. You'll see them with rods, they are fanned all different directions. Yeah, through the night, nothing. Thought I had a little bleep on one of them, woke up and it was nothing, so I don't know what that was. And then literally just chatting to some of the lads who walked around this morning. Real twitchy bite on the left hand rod, and I was like, come on please. So I jumped down next to it and nothing happened, and then it twitched again. I was like, I've got to hit it. Quick, wind. Pick up the slack. Not that I'm fishing slack line, but it come a little bit towards me. Excuse me. Anyway, feeling it, I was like, oh, it could be a bream, and then a couple little head shakes, and then it kited a little bit. I was like, it's not a bream, and then got it in and seen it, and it's one of the commons. It's a lake full of commons and only a few mirrors. I've seen some pictures of the mirrors, and they are beauties, but I am going to try my best to keep this sort of lake under wraps. It does get busy, so I've got to be careful of that as well, but yeah, I'm really happy. I have got a little bit of footage of me with the fish, so yeah, I'll roll that on now. But yeah, what a way, and that will probably be the end of this little carp diary for January. February I've got lots planned. Yeah, see what happens, but yeah, I'll leave the clips now, and thanks for watching. First one 2023 from the big pit. Dropped down for a quick overnighter. 3 singles, Aaron's in the middle zone, and one's gone off about 9 o'clock in the morning. Shaped a £23 common. Just immaculate, these fish. And hopefully I can have a few more this year. We get this one back.
Camera's on your bed, mate.
Legend, thank you, mate.